is the ultimate travel guide from the people who know it best. Weekends with Yankee.
We're in Shaftsbury, Vermont. Traditionally, this was farmland, sheep and wool. Many of the large farms have now disappeared, but we're now going to Wing and a Prayer. And this represents an artisanal farm, a small production that is really farm to fashion.
Who's hungry?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, Tammy. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Looks like it's breakfast here.
Yeah. Do you want to feed?
Yeah. It's not always I get to see such beautiful alpacas.
And then there's also a cashmere goat in there, Christopher Robin. If you toss that way, he'd love some. Give everybody space because they don't always want to eat from the same pile. Here comes Fluffhead and Layla.
They seem very gentle.
Oh, they're super sweet and very gentle. I've had alpacas since 2010, I think. They've come to me as rescues. They all have very, very distinctive personalities, very sweet. They're excellent fiber producers. They have amazing alpaca fiber that we use, so soft.
When you say rescues, are there that many alpaca in Vermont that are abandoned?
So when we use the term rescue, we mean a place for them to come to. There was like an alpaca craze, and then there's been a llama craze. Everybody wanted to have alpacas or be an alpaca farmer. And so there was an overpopulation of these beautiful animals that people learn about what kind of a commitment it is, and they don't necessarily want to be in it for 15 years. So they need homes because their people want to have another lifestyle.
You're like the female St. Francis of Assisi.
Well, I would be flattered to be thought of in those ways, but I think that most farmers, like myself, we all do what we can to help our animals.
It sounds like there's quite a few animals to feed here.
We have a lot of mouths to feed. We need to toss the geese some grain. Char, my daughter, she's going to take care of the goats and the chickens while we go head over and see the sheep.
So when did you come to Vermont and become a farmer?
In 1986, got this place, 12 acres at the time, and mostly flat and cleared. When my kids were little, they did all the research and we decided to get some sheep. And we learned about sheep from books because we didn't have the internet yet. And then we went around to different farms in Vermont for about a year. We ended up choosing Shetland sheep, came home with our first 3 sheep in 2001. In 2010, my kids were off to college, so instead of downsizing when my kids grew up, I upsized. And so then I turned it from a hobby farm into a production farm. We started with Shetlands, but we also have Valet Blacknose and Cormo. And on the farm, I have 9 breeds altogether of sheep. Let's feed them. Here you go, girls.
Why do you have so many varieties?
Some animals have come via rescue situations, and that's how we first started to sort of diversify our sheep breeds. And now over the years, I'm really grateful that we have such diversity. It's better for the planet, and we're protecting rare and heritage breeds by being open to having different types of breeds of sheep here. The length of the wool, the crimp, the different breeds, they all have a different fleece and different properties.
You know, this looks idyllic. It's a beautiful fall day, but I mean, there must be life and death situations that you're running to on a fairly regular basis.
There are. For example, when Jubilee was born, we had a lot of complications. Her mom had been inseminated. We thought she was carrying 2. It turned out she was carrying 5 lambs.
5. And so were there problems with the birth or with her being able to get milk or any of those things?
Yeah, every problem.
Well, she doesn't look like she's a problem now. She's big.
We nursed her, and now I always say she's a bounder. She's really thriving.
When you have stories like that, that's such a personal connection, the sacrifice you went through. And Jubilee looks like this beautiful, magnificent sheep, but yet you have this personal connection to her because you saw as this little baby.
I just think that in life, when you give to somebody, because it is your nature just to do that, you don't do it because you expect anything back, right?
Right.
Would you like to go to the barn and see Char shear?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see a lot of wool.
Hey, Char.
Hi.
I'm going to introduce Richard to you.
Hi, Char.
Hi, Richard.
So you are the shearer.
Yeah, we are
Wow.
just about done with Gwen here. She's a Swiss Valet Black Nose, not even a year old yet.
So has she been sheared before?
This is her first time getting sheared. She is doing really well.
And this just feels, wonderful. And so what will this be made into?
With Gwen's wool, we'll probably make a woven fabric that then gets fulled for blankets. And we go to sheep and wool events, and we have booths where we sell them, and we have an online shop where we also sell the products. Usually we make yarn with all of our wool.
These are all beautiful, so how did they become this color?
Sometimes we retain all of the same colored fleeces to come together. For example, all of the Cormos sheep's fleece is this color naturally. So then we can dye it if we want to using dyes that we grow in our dye garden over here.
From flowers?
From the flowers, from roots, from bark, from the stems,
This
the
is old
leaves.
school.
Oh, yeah. We grow quite a variety. I grow color, blue from the woad, indigo. I grow yellow from marigolds, reds from the madder roots and the amaranthus. So now I'm just gonna add these flowers. We're going to add the yarn, and then I'm going to add heat, and we'll let it simmer all together overnight. Turn off the heat after 45 minutes or so, and tomorrow morning I'll pull it out. It's going to have some really beautiful, rich gold color.
When you think of dyes, it sort of is in that area of they do it somehow, but when you actually see flowers that you just picked and wool from the sheep you knew, the process becomes so much more personalized.
There's a real connection. It's a connection to my flock and to the earth and to the future. I'm making a commitment to the next generations that I'm gonna try to be the best steward I can so that you guys will have a good life here on this green planet.
These are beautiful.
Every stitch is meaningful. Every color is meaningful. A woman named Sarah Barca in Ohio designed this shawl, which she called From Wool with Love. And she's using 3 different kinds of yarns from our farm that I've dyed with marigolds and some of natural undyed. So it's just fun to see this show up of the mail and say, oh my gosh, this is part of my flock.
I mean, it must be so satisfying.
It's like a member of the family.
Each one of these sweaters not only has a breed or a color that you've dyed from a plant that you've selected, but it has a lineage too. So to me, it's sending out more than a sweater from Wing and a Prayer. For me personally, coming here, it's such a good feeling to know that people like you exist here in New England.
Thank you.